it's me, Kia. Welcome to my channel, Tip for Tap Tarot, where I'm going to give you a little tip from Spirit for a tap on the like and subscribe button. Today we're asking Spirit, where are your nuts? And by that, I mean, where is your motivation, your willpower, your drive, alright? What inspires you and how do you activate it and go forward? And today, honor my little clever title, you are going to pick a squirrel. You have happy squirrel or sad squirrel. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description box. See you then. Hi, happy squirrel. So, yep, this is your card. Really cute. It comes from the Mystic Medleys Tarot. That deck actually has two unique major arcana, happy and sad squirrel, and this is yours. And I'm going to do a spread. I'm going to lay about 5 other cards down. I'm going to get a little bit more probably at the end for some advice, but I'm going to do 5 cards face down, and each one's going to answer a particular question, but then the reading in its whole will tell you where your nuts are. Alright, so Spirit, for my happy squirrel, where are their nuts? Where's their motivation, their drive? Ooh, okay. Let's start there. Alright. So for the first question, we're actually going to use the card that you chose, Happy Squirrel. So the first question that we are asking, Spirit, in the spread, is how do you perceive yourself? How do you perceive your willpower? The fact that you chose Happy Squirrel, especially over Sad Squirrel, tells me that how you perceive yourself and your willpower and your whole situation is with more optimism. The sun is out, the tree is happy, he's very happy. He actually has a nut in his hand. Very cute. So you tend to be somebody who looks on the brighter side of things. And even if right now, like, you are feeling unmotivated and you are wondering, like, how you can push yourself forward towards a goal, you don't even know what your goal is, whatever the situation, in choosing this card tells me that you still have a positive outlook for the future. You do expect success. You do expect brighter days ahead, so to speak. Another thing, though, about Happy Squirrel here is that, so he currently has a nut in his hand. And, when it comes to squirrels, they spend, like, basically, I think that that's what they do, is that as soon as winter's over, they basically just start collecting nuts. And they're preparing for winter, right? They're preparing for the dark time, for the cold time. And they go and they search for all these nuts and they hide them. And pretty much majority of the nuts that they find, they will lose. Be it to, like, other animals finding them and eating them, or the elements, or literally they lose where they put. They might not even remember where they put them. That's a possibility. So, it's great to be optimistic, but then the drawback of being, like, say, too optimistic is that he might be thinking, oh, I have a nut in my hand, I don't need to prepare anymore. Or now it's just wondering, what does he do with that? Do you keep going? So you could even be in that kind of situation, or that, like, energy of maybe not preparing more, like, as you should be. If you're too optimistic. We're gonna dive in and we're gonna find out. So for card number 2, where do you receive your inspiration? Where's your source of power? So what drives you? Okay? And you have the Queen of Pentacles. I really love this deck so much. So the Queen of Pentacles is like, she's like, say, my wife card. You don't have to be a wife or, you know, husband or spouse, but it's that kind of energy of some, like, being nurturing, also providing, caring for people, caring for family, like everything that goes into being a spouse, you know, like that kind of energy is the Queen of Pentacles to me. She's very down to earth. I'm just looking at the card, feeling the energy. So I think, yeah, where you receive your inspiration is probably being able to take physical things and like make more with them, grow them more, nurture things. She kind of reminds me very much of like the Empress as well, you know, in the tarot. You know, very like motherly. That's the vibe I'm going to get in here. You know, you could be somebody, like, it could also be about work. Queen of Pentacles is, I mean, she is a really hard worker. It doesn't really matter if you have, like, an outside job or you're a homemaker. You know, she's a hard worker. And, like, everything she touches turns to gold. So, what drives you, I do believe, it's either making, I mean, it could be making money, but it's not for like the sheer fact of to make money. It's so that you can provide for other people, so that you can take care of others, make a home. And even if you were like, say you were mothering a business and creating a business, the point of that business, like your drive would be because you want to like to take care of people, like, you know what I mean, like you want to actually provide towards the community. You want to be like, oh, I provide a really great service, people are buying it, I also have employees, I'm paying them, I treat them well. Like that is the kind of energy, that's what's driving you, Happy Squirrel, which is really great, really down to earth, really practical and awesome energy. I like it so far. Alright, so this card number 3 is what's blocking you. What's blocking you right now, and where do you need to put your foot? Oh my god, the Empress. Okay, interesting. And where to focus, where you need to step up. That's what this question is about. This is interesting. Where you need to put your energy into. So I guess, yeah. You need to put the, I mean, like I literally just said how she reminds me of the Empress being the mother. So you really might be a wife and a mother. Again, you don't have to be. But think that kind of energy, that archetype of somebody who, you know, the way, like, if you hand, like, not to be, I'm not trying to be, like, you know, stereotypical here, but just go with me, okay? You know, you hand, it's like the idea of handing, like, a mother, you know, some food, right? Like, this little guy's giving her a carrot, but she's going to end up making either egg, like, she could end up growing a bunch more carrots, but, or she's going to make some, like, fantastic soup or something, you know? She grows what you give her, and that's especially true of the Empress. She's not, like, dominating the earth and the landscape around her. If anything, she's like kind of like working with it, using it to grow more. Venus, a lot of Venus energy, Libra energy, Taurus specifically too. Like, you know, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ram and all that. Yeah, so so what drives you is literally where you need to be focusing your attention. Where your nuts are is like, it's somewhere that involves taking care of others and growing things and Again, it could literally be working with the earth itself. Could be gardening or cooking or anything like that. It could be like children, caretaking, um, just, yes, really giving, nurturing, awesome, bright energy. Yeah, let's keep going. Alright, so for number 4 is what knowledge and what gifts do you what do you have, what have you learned that can help you? The Two of Pentacles, yep, that's, I swear to God, you have to be like a mother or something, like, I really feel like that, because the Two of Pentacles, that's about multitasking and time management, being able to juggle, like, multiple things, and this isn't like juggling, this is real life stuff. This is pentacles stuff. So this is being able to actually juggling like children and work and friends and family and all that stuff. This could also be pointing to something I just felt compelled to say, that, also where you make sure you're loving yourself as well, because that's another aspect of the Two of Pentacles, is being able to balance all those things, is you have to make sure you're loving yourself. So the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, 100% definitely make sure that they take care of themselves, because if you're not taken care of, you really can't take care of anybody else. So this could even be saying like that you need to put some, like, where you need to focus is also into yourself, your feminine side of yourself, the mother side of yourself. Now, take it as you will. This could have to do with literally needing to connect with your actual mother, or like maybe even just being a mother to yourself as well, in order for you to get your drive back or keep it going, depending on where you are. Happy Squirrel. I feel like things are really great. All right. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say? What have you learned? You know how to juggle, you know how to balance. Even when the waters behind you are rough and raging, conquering mountains back here. Like, I mean, this is so, like, straightforward and such a great reading so far. I love it. All right. So, for number 5 is where are you expanding unnecessary energy? Where are you putting your energy that you don't need to be? Wow. That's interesting. It's a 10 of Cups, which is a family. Like a family of bees. That's interesting. Wow. I wonder if you're like overly caring, like you're giving way too much and you're not taking care of yourself or something. You're like, are you being like way too self-sacrificing? And because this is like super, super motherly energy, and so like nurturing and giving and doing. It's really doing. Like I said, the Queen of Pentacles works really hard, and so does the Empress. It's like, 'cause, I mean, the Empress gives birth, and birth is not easy. It's a lot of labor. I feel like you're working really hard. Wow. Yeah, and I think that, because if this is where you're expanding like too much energy, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're giving too much to your family. I mean, you might be like, you need to do something for yourself. You need to like not. I mean, interesting that I was like really saying how like, yeah. Now let's say you're not a mother and you don't have kids or anything like that. This could still be like giving like a lot to your family, or like, yeah, I don't know, there's really not much else way. This is, like I said, so straightforward of a reading. I do feel like you're putting in so much for other people. not, you're not focusing, you're not taking, like she's sitting on they're both sitting down, you know, so it's like resting, taking a rest. She's sitting on like 3 pillows, you know, that's like the symbol right here, of Venus. And Venus is like very much about like beauty and luxury and comfort, and so is like the sign of Taurus. So I do think that this is, in order where you're nuts, like where are you gonna get, you know, how are you gonna prepare for the winter? How are you gonna keep pushing to go forward? Where are you gonna like make sure you keep your willpower, keep your drive, or bring it back? Is that you have to focus on yourself. You need to. That's not selfish. Absolutely. You know how to do that. You are very good at being able. You just need to find those parts where you need to of your life that, like, you know, you don't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're like trying to do the most over here. You're probably like the best hostess or whatever, but you don't have to do everything. Super interesting. Maybe you picked Happy Squirrel because, I mean, there's like an optimism about him and all that, but, you know, rather than having, like I said before, being like too optimistic and not being prepared, it's almost like, you know, he's got the nut, like, you know, it's like you're fine, like you need to like relax, like you actually have, maybe you chose this because you're like, you want the confirmation things are gonna be okay, and you need to like take a break and like pay attention to yourself. Well, there you go. Okay, so the last card is, what material and physical resources do you have? Okay, what do you have that can help you right now find your nuts? 10 of Swords. Well, he's got money around him. Sorry for my shitty camera. He's got money. The skies are clearing. He's also peace. Peace. Yeah, you're exhausted. Oh my god. Like, you act, this is like saying like you whatever, like your physical resources and material things, like it's like you, because this is the 10 of Swords and this is like the card of like rock bottom and just, I mean, he's dead. This is saying that you have the physical resource. I think it's saying you have the money. I don't know. Take a break, take a vacation. Like, seriously, like, you need to take a break from, you're doing so much that you're going to burn out and you're not going to have any willpower to keep going if you keep the way you are. It is really great energy, and that's the thing, is like, I would like you to keep this up. I want you to stay in this energy. This is really good energy. We don't want you in this energy, but that's like where you're headed if you don't focus on, you know, yourself. You're the Empress. You need to focus on you, and like when the Empress like gives way too much, she burns out, you know? That's like Empress in reverse energy right there. Like, just giving and giving and giving and giving. You know, man, you feel tired. I would be tired too. I know how it feels, man. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I get it. So you have to find that. You have the way. You got it all. You need to take a break. Alright, so I'm going to ask Spirit for just 3 last cards for just advice for your happy squirrel. Where your nuts are. Where your nuts are is like with your family or your business, or taking care of people, providing, growing things, making something amazing. Like, also the Queen of Pentacles reminds me of, this is like also like kind of like the energy of like maybe generational wealth and being able to leave things for children and people. So yeah, you definitely are all about the, like, you could be a businesswoman, giving birth to, like, a new business, or, like, you know, nursing it, making it bigger, growing it, and all that, but, or what, I think it could definitely, is work. I mean, period. Like, I don't care if it is specifically family and children related or what, but it's work. You're working. Alright, Spirit, advice for my happy squirrel. He's so patient, waiting for me to finish. 10 of Pentacles. Wow, what did I just say? Generational wealth. Family. Being able to leave something. There's a grandpa, kids, all that. Dog. Absolutely. Wow. This could also be saying you have the funds to rest. This is Queen of Cups. Another queen. Yeah. And the Knight of Cups. Yeah, I see. Oh my god. Like, literally, there's like a baby in the back. Oh, I wish my camera was better, because you can you see it? The baby. It's like a baby mermaid. It has a little binky. Yep. I feel like it's like this little octopus that's like behind her. I feel like it's just like you. I really feel like a mom is like, it's like, mommy, mommy. Oh. I think your advice, you might even, like, let's say you're married, you probably should go on a date or something. I think it's like a vacation. Date, vacation, go out with friends, get out there and like be like kind of like more like the Knight of Cups, like a little more like fun and flirty and romantic, and the Queen of Cups also like gonna take care of herself so that she can actually like give all she can in love, you know? You can't, eventually you will, you just, you're not a robot, you know? You're a person, and a very lovely, wonderful, giving person and all that, and I think you need a break, and you need to have fun, you have the money, and also you're prepared. Where your nuts are, you're going, what you're doing is amazing. Just take a break, okay? Alright, happy squirrel. Hope you like that reading. Give me a tip, or give me a tap on the like and subscribe button. Bye. Hello, pile 2, or sad squirrel. So, I am going to lay out about 5 more cards, and then at the end I'll get a couple more for some advice. We're just going to do a little spread here. We're going to tap into each card. I'm going to put face down. We're going to go one by one, and it's going to answer a specific question in regards to where your nuts are, where your motivation is and drive, and what's distract you, and all that good stuff. Alright, sad squirrel. So, Holy Spirit, please give me 5 cards for our spread. Where are your nuts? By the way, I don't know if I even mentioned this in the intro, but this is from the Mystical Medleys deck, and it has these 2 unique major arcanas, the Happy and Sad Squirrel, and it's like a really adorable deck. I love it. Okay, so anyway, we are going to start with number 1, the card you chose, Sad Squirrel, and the first question is, how do you perceive yourself? How do you perceive your willpower? So, the fact that you chose Sad Squirrel tells me that, especially in comparison to Happy Squirrel, is that you might be a little bit more pessimistic. Although some might say pessimistic, and others, like maybe even yourself, would say realistic. So, a couple of things are interesting, especially when you in comparison to the Happy Squirrels. One, Happy Squirrel had a nut in his hand, whereas Sad Squirrel here has like a big stick. So he's very much ready to fight fight for his nuts. Also, the weather, the cloud, the rainstorm in the background makes me think that whether you want to call it pessimism or realism, is that you are much more prepared for the worst. You're thinking it's going to rain, you're prepared for it to be raining, you're prepared to have to fight and defend your nuts for the winter. So we can only assume that maybe, I'm going to say you have them because, you feel protective over something, so you do got them, is what I'm saying. But, excuse me, we're going to just keep going through here and see what else we can get. I think that's really the gist. So, excuse me. Where do you receive inspiration? What is your source of power? What drives you? This card. And it's the Star. Interesting. Interesting, sad squirrel. So, this is Aquarius energy. Interesting because it comes after the Tower, which made me, I'm thinking because of, also, that possible pessimistic outlook, or, maybe even things are rough, for you right now. So what drives you is actually the idea that things will get better. Is that, there's hope. That after a really, really hard time, after the storm, comes the star. So I feel like, that is what's driving you. And what's giving you the willpower to keep going and looking for nuts. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing that. Yeah, I mean, what else? This is a major arcana, so this is, definitely about dreams coming true. So I really like that for you. Especially if right now, you're feeling like things are really sad and you are feeling like you have to defend, or that their storm is coming. I really do like that being what drives you. That's good. Hold on to that. Alright, so card number 3 is what is blocking you? Where do you need to step up? Where do you need to focus? And we have the Ace of Swords. Interesting, because it's also what's in this card. It's a little rain cloud. And you chopped down that tree. Oh, that's interesting. So it's what is blocking you? This is your thoughts. The Ace of Swords is, swords are your thoughts. So actually, what is blocking you would be any negative thinking. Would be the fact that this, rain cloud, okay, the storm cloud is coming, because now, here you're seeing that tree is chopped down now, which is interesting because on one hand, the tree is a very angry tree to itself. So it's I thought of kind of chopping down the negativity, but on the other hand, trees are where squirrels live. That's their home. That's very, they are home for tons of little animals and birds and things, and very important to the ecosystem. So it's not really great to go around chopping down trees. So where, what's blocking you is any thought really of the worst is a pessimistic outlook. Thinking that you are going to lose things, that you have to fight. Almost that the storm cloud is going to come and win, and because now the squirrel's gone. That's literally the imagery that I'm seeing here. And so that is what you need to really overcome. You need to focus on controlling your thoughts and being like this. This is what drives you. Get away from negative thinking and have, positive thinking, okay? A lot of people do say that and subscribe to the belief that your thoughts create your reality. So if you're constantly thinking the worst is going to happen, ultimately it is. And I feel like we perceive kind of, it's like our thoughts are like a filter of our perception, or like we think how we perceive, or something like that. When I'm trying to say that it's like, you know, have you ever bought in a car and then you see it everywhere all of a sudden? It's like that. If you're always thinking really negative, you're also going to notice the negative a lot more. And then it's going to seem like the negative is constantly happening to you more, but it's not really. It's because it's what you're focused on. Okay? That's what you need to overcome. Okay. So, for the fourth card, we have, what knowledge, gifts do you have that can help you right now? What is it that you have learned along the way that can help you in finding your nuts? And it's Two of Pentacles. That's so interesting. The first group had this in the exact same spot, but totally different reading. So what you learned along the way is, you know, Two of Pentacles is about time management and juggling responsibilities, and it's not juggling thoughts or anything. It's juggling real life things. Okay? Work, friends, family. Could be like I said, literally time management, multitasking. It could be being able to manage bills. So really your practical knowledge and your the way that you are realistic and able to like put your time into multiple things, and you know where it's important to put time and energy, is of great use to you and will help you along like your journey. And I think you should focus on that probably, because if your drive is like this idea of like a more hopeful, brighter, beautiful future after, like, especially after disaster. It doesn't have to be after disaster. At this point, I don't know, that maybe the worst has happened and you're afraid of it happening again. Don't really know. But point is that if that's what's driving you and where you're inspired, continuing, you know, to just the way that you operate, like literally in the world of like probably, yeah, just practical time management and juggling multiple things and how you work and all that is really going to help you. I mean, you should probably shine a spotlight on that. Like, you're very talented in that sense. You're really realistic. I think you're very like a realist kind of person. Yeah, and that's absolutely going to help you. It's almost like maybe even doing things will, like, I don't want to say distract you from like negative thinking, but you know, just take a look at everything that you have accomplished and what you're doing and how you do it well as a to deter you from negative thinking. Because the negative thinking is actually directly, because, you know, Swords and Pentacles, air and earth don't work well together. So negative thinking is literally going to impact your day-to-day functioning as well. Like, in a real sense, honestly. I feel like it's going to leave you distracted and forget other things. It's almost like you're so busy worrying about, you know, possible storm clouds coming that you're literally just going to forget things that it's like you're too busy worrying, you're not going to do something you're supposed to do, you know? Yeah. So let's focus on, again, your drive, on your hope of a brighter future, and as well shining a light on like just yeah, you're just like your everyday life. It's like living in the moment. I feel like this is like time. It's like living in the moment. Alright, let's move on to number 5. So 5 is, where are you expanding unnecessary energy? 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. This is like work, collaborating with other people. It's like a partnership of two people. Well, I mean, there's three, but, you know, it almost looks like two of these people are telling this guy the plan, and he's the one building it. Interesting. For where you're expanding unnecessary energy. I wonder if it's like I don't know, I'm wondering if you're putting too much energy into whether it's other people or it's like specifically like work. It does kind of like, especially matching up with the Two of Pentacles, it seems like, how am I gonna say this? It's like, I don't know, you could be focusing on actual work more than yourself, or it's like, or I wonder if your job's really boring and gives you like a lot of time to think, and your mind happens to go towards like negativity. Interesting. You know, it could be like pile one, like totally different message, but a little bit similar in the sense of like needing to rest. I don't get the same kind of burnt out energy, but it does seem like, you know, if this is what's blocking you, is like if it's negative thinking, a lot of thinking, blocking you, and also like lack of clarity, really it's like confusion and all that. It's like, I just kind of lost what I was gonna say. Oh man. Yeah, it's like maybe you're like, oh, your negative thinking is like making you work a lot. Like, I don't know if you're worried about money or something like that, but it's making you almost like over. I almost like had this envisionment. I was like a like a prepper or something, like, which, no shade if that's what you do. I think it's cool, but it is kind of like I'm getting that vibe of like, oh, the worst is gonna happen. A storm is coming, so I gotta work, and I gotta like stock up, and I gotta make sure I have all this stuff done. And it's like never any like fun. Doesn't look very fun. I don't see fun. I do see your drive of being like this bright future, and I'd like you to focus on that. But I definitely, yeah, I mean, it seems there's some kind of like you're putting a lot of energy into some kind of work, or maybe even some kind of project with other people that you don't need to. Yeah. Alright, let's go on to number 6 here. And we have, what material, physical resources do you have at your disposal? I already see some of them. But let's see. This is physical stuff that you have, can help you with your will, find your nuts, right? Page of Pentacles. Interesting. So you might literally, I just, real quick, thought is that you might actually have a person in your life who, by the way, here's the card, who would help you, maybe even in a financial way, or even provide information. The Page of Pentacles is somebody who, like, you know, pages can bring messages and all that, but the Page of Pentacles, to how I see them, is like somebody who's like really like studious. I mean, you could be even a young person who's like in college or something, and you could be like, even this could be about like could be some kind of studying or something going on here. But I mean, point still stands. There's this energy of kind of imagining the worst. Maybe you have like books. You might actually have like actual books. Maybe you've bought and stuff that's like self-help books or something. Okay, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not recommending anything here, but because we're talking about this is representing what physical resources that you have, this could be like literally like some kind of medication or herbs or something like that. Don't mind me, I'm just kind of like feeling the energy and racking my brain. Yeah, what Page of Pentacles. Kind of interesting. It does make me think. I wonder if it is a person. Could be representing a person that's in your life that's more like very positive, and they could be younger than you possibly. Could be even a child. Somebody that could really like help uplift your spirits, and they might even have a different perspective on things. Somebody who's very down to earth, and somebody who yeah, just a very like more younger, happier kind of energy about them. This also could just be like potentially just representative of like a little bit of money. Maybe you do have a little, because he has a little bag of stuff right behind him. Like he's holding a coin and he's got, you know, all that. And so it's like this could just be saying that you like to not worry because you have some resources. You definitely have resources. This whole bottom row is it's three cards of all pentacles, which are real things that you can actually touch. So yeah, absolutely, like you have resources, and I mean, I feel like that's just the gist, is that you've kind of just been kind of fearing the worst here, and you really need to focus on this star card, this energy of like healing, and especially healing after like pain and healing after any kind of disaster or anything like that. And maybe believing like, you know, even you are a star. Maybe you want to be famous or something. That's potentially what this is. You could be someone who, like, that's your dream. Maybe you have a dream to do something and be like famous, but you're putting yourself down and thinking, I can't do it, I can't, and here you are, you're like putting your energy in this, and I'm not saying like quit your job, but it's like putting your energy into like real, like Three of Pentacles compared to the Star, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and it really like teeny little meaningless things, but you do have some kind of whether it's a person or even like actual funds to like help you and pursue whatever this star card is for you, you know? This hope of, you need to focus on the brighter side and the hope in things, okay? So we're just going to get 3 more cards for just advice for you. Oh, okay. Okay. We have Temperance, the Sun, and the King of Wands. Yes. Love it. Okay. See that? Don't you love it? Look at this. This is like, seriously, that's what I just said. Firstly, let me point out a couple things. Here we go. So, the Temperance card. Alright, this is about, like, this is also about healing, and it's about balance, alright, between, like, emotions, like the water, as well as our drive, fire, okay? Look at his glasses. He's starry-eyed, alright? But his third eye's open, too, you know? There's a point of balance. He's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot's up. The sun is shining. The flowers are happy. Alright, now you have the happiest card in the deck. the sun, your advice, you need to look on the brighter side of things. And you also actually, this is a reassurance to you that, like when the sun card comes out, it's not only the happy card about like joy and all that, but it's about illumination. And when this card comes out, it tells me that there's nothing hidden. Okay, the sun is out. You can see everything. You don't need to worry about a storm cloud. Is honestly, like, you can trust what you see, what people say, and what they do. Like, whatever you can see, you can trust that, because make your decisions based off that. Make your decisions based off what you can see and what you know, not what could happen. Okay. King of Wands. Yeah, this is like also like big Leo energy here. So, you know, being confident, calling the shots. You call the shots. All right. Yeah. Like, again, back to that whole, like, what you're thinking is what is going to happen. Like, you make that your reality, but also you're going to notice it more. You focus on the sunshine, you're going to see more of it. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward advice. And I feel like that really does wrap it up, like, honestly. Like, having balance, having faith, and the sun and the star, they're both stars, okay? So believe that things are possible and that things are going to get better, okay? Alright, so go ahead and put a tap on the like and subscribe button. Thank you.